Have you ever looked at your life and felt like you are living a story that started long before you were born? And have you ever wondered why certain fears or struggles feel so familiar even when you cannot trace where they began? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about something deeply personal and quietly universal. The patterns we inherit. The ones that show up in money, love, health, confidence, anger, silence, anxiety, and the way our families handle pain. Some people call it family fate. Some people call it trauma. Some people call it bad luck. In a Buddhist lens, we can call it karma in motion. Not as punishment, but as momentum, energetic tendencies, habits of mind, and unresolved suffering that can ripple through generations until someone becomes aware enough to stop the cycle. I want to ground this in real life, not abstract theory. Because when people hear generational karma, they sometimes picture mysterious curses or mystical deaths. But most of the time, the pattern is plain. It is the same emotional script repeating with new actors. The same scarcity fear. The same way of choosing partners. The same relationship to authority. The same way of handling conflict. The same unspoken rule that says do not talk about that. The same nervous system wired for survival instead of peace. If you have ever felt like you are reliving your family past, even while swearing you will be different, you are not alone. Many of us carry echoes we did not choose. And the most hopeful part is this. In Buddhism, inheritance is real, but condemnation is not. You can inherit a pattern without being sentenced to repeat it. The choice to break cycles begins with awareness. And awareness can become a path. Let me tell you a story. Her name was Asha. She was in her early 30s. Intelligent, competent, and outwardly calm. People described her as responsible. She paid her bills on time. She kept her life organized. She remembered birthdays. She showed up. But inside, Asha felt like she was constantly bracing for something. She could not relax even on good days. When work went well, she waited for a mistake. When relationships felt steady, she waited for distance. When money was in the bank, she heard an inner voice whispering that it could vanish any second. If you asked her why, she would have said life is unpredictable. That was true. But it was not the whole truth. One day, after a long stretch of exhaustion, Asha went to see a therapist. She expected to talk about stress and boundaries. Instead, the conversation kept drifting toward her childhood. Not dramatic trauma, just a background atmosphere. A mother who worried about money all the time. A father who worked hard but never seemed satisfied. A family that rarely spoke about feelings unless they exploded. A house where love was present, but tension was normal. Asha said something in that session that surprised even her. It feels like I am living my mother's anxiety, she said, like it got planted in me before I had words. The therapist nodded gently and asked a simple question. What did your mother inherit? Asha went quiet. She had never asked that. She knew her mother grew up with scarcity. She knew her grandparents lived through hardship. She knew there were losses nobody discussed. She knew family stories came with blank spaces, like chapters torn out of a book. Asha left the session feeling unsettled. Not angry, not blaming, just aware that something was bigger than her individual choices. That same week, she attended a talk at a local meditation center. Not because she was trying to become religious, because she wanted relief. She wanted to understand why her nervous system acted like the world was always about to collapse. The teacher that night spoke about karma in a way that did not sound moralistic. He said karma means action, but more deeply it means intention. The mind state behind what you do. The way repeated intentions create grooves. And the way grooves become tendencies that carry forward. Like a wheel that keeps turning until something stops it. Then he said something that felt like it was aimed directly at Asha. Sometimes the karma you are working with is not only personal. Sometimes it is collective. Families carry shared habits of fear and coping. Communities carry shared wounds. Nations carry shared stories. And a child can inherit not only beliefs, but the emotional atmosphere of unresolved pain. Asha felt her throat tighten. Not because she agreed or disagreed, but because she recognized it. After the talk, she approached the teacher and asked if Buddhism really says we inherit karma. The teacher said, "You inherit conditions. You inherit tendencies. You inherit a karmic field of influence. But you also inherit the capacity for awakening. In every generation, someone can become the turning point." That phrase stayed with Asha for weeks. The turning point. She began watching her own life like a pattern map. And when she looked honestly, she saw generational repetition everywhere. In her family, love was often expressed through worry. If someone cared, they warned. They predicted problem. They controlled details. They called it protection. It was fear in disguise. Asha noticed she did the same thing with the people she loved. She checked in excessively. She asked questions that sounded caring, but were really trying to secure certainty. She tried to manage outcomes. Then she felt exhausted and resentful because nobody could give her the guarantee she was craving. She also saw the scarcity pattern. Even when she earned enough, she acted as if she did not. She avoided spending on anything joyful. She felt guilty resting. She measured her worth by productivity. She could not enjoy what she had because her nervous system was still living in the past. She asked herself a hard question. Whose life am I actually living inside my body? This is the moment where ancestral patterns become visible. And in Buddhist practice, visibility is power. Because what is unconscious feels like fate. What becomes conscious becomes workable. Asha started with compassionate awareness. That phrase can sound soft, but it is actually a disciplined approach. It means seeing patterns without blame. No blame toward ancestors. They did what they could with what they had. Many of them were shaped by hardship they did not choose. No blame toward yourself. You are not weak for inheriting a nervous system pattern. You are human. Compassionate awareness says, "This is here. I see it. I will not add hatred to it." This matters because when people discover generational patterns, they sometimes fall into anger. They blame parents. They blame grandparents. They blame the whole family line. Anger is understandable, but it can also become a new link in the chain. If you want to break cycles, the energy cannot be more hatred. The energy has to be clarity plus compassion. In Buddhism, there is a teaching often explained as dependent origination. In simple terms, things arise due to condition. When conditions are present, certain outcomes are likely. When conditions change, outcomes change. That means your anxiety is not a permanent identity. It is a conditioned response. And if it is conditioned, it can be reconditioned. Asha began doing simple self-reflection practices. She wrote down the repeating themes in her family line as honestly as she could. How did people handle conflict? How did people handle money? How did people handle grief? How did people handle love? What was spoken? What was never spoken? What emotions were allowed? What emotions were punished or mocked? As she wrote, a pattern emerged. Her family had survived by staying strong, staying busy, and staying silent about pain. That survival strategy helped them endure. But it also created a legacy of emotional constriction. Asha realized something important. What saved one generation can trap the next. Her grandparents needed toughness to survive. Her parents inherited toughness and applied it to a safer world, which turned toughness into rigidity. Asha inherited rigidity and turned it inward as anxiety. So the question was not who is guilty. The question was what is the next evolution? This is where Buddhist tools became practical. The first tool was Midtafelsens. Midmalinst is not just relaxation. It is seeing what is happening in the mind and body in real time. It is noticing the moment the pattern activates. It is catching the chain early. Asha started meditating for 10 minutes a day. She did not try to empty her mind. She simply watched. She noticed how quickly her mind produced disaster scenarios. She noticed how her body tightened at the thought of uncertainty. She noticed how her breath became shallow when she checked her bank account. She noticed how her jaw clenched when someone did not reply quickly. Instead of obeying these impulses, she practiced observing them. This is a crucial shift. Generational karma often lives as automatic reaction. Mindfulness creates space, and space creates choice. Then Asha added another practice: metta, loving kindness. At first, she did not want to do it. She thought it would be sentimental. She thought it would be fake. But the teacher explained metta as an antidote. Not an emotional performance, but a mental training that softens hatred, fear, and numbness. Asha began with herself. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be free from fear. May I learn to trust life. Then she extended it to her parents. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be free from burdens you never spoke about. Then she extended it to her grandparents, even the ones she barely knew. May you be free from suffering. May you be held in compassion. May the weight you carried not continue as pain in the next generation. This practice did something surprising. It changed the emotional tone of her relationship to her family. She stopped seeing them as the source of her pain and started seeing them as humans who carried pain. That did not erase boundaries. It did not excuse harm, but it's often the inner grip. Softening the grip is how entanglement dissolves. Asha also learned about offering merit, a concept in Buddhism where wholesome actions are dedicated to the benefit of others. You can interpret this spiritually or psychologically. Either way, it becomes a powerful practice. It shifts the heart from self-focused struggle to connected healing. Asha chose one wholesome act each week and dedicated it to her ancestral line. She volunteered. She donated quietly. She helped a neighbor. She practiced patience with a family member. She made amends where she could. And in her own mind, she offered the goodness of those acts as a healing current. Whether or not you believe merit travels beyond this life, something undeniably changes when you practice like this. Your intention becomes cleaner. Your heart becomes less isolated. Your life becomes aligned with compassion. Now let us talk about breaking the cycle in the most practical terms. Because ancestral healing cannot stay only in meditation. It has to show up in how you speak, how you set boundaries, how you handle money, how you handle conflict, how you rest, how you love. Asha began practice in conscious interruption. When she felt the urge to control, she paused and breathed. When she felt the urge to catastrophize, she named it and returned to the present. When she felt guilt for resting, she reminded herself that rest is not laziness. It is nervous system repair. When she felt the old scarcity panic, she practiced gratitude and responsible planning without obsession. But the hardest part was family interaction. Because generational karma is reinforced in family systems. You can meditate alone and feel peaceful. Then you visit family, and the old roles try to pull you back in. Asha noticed that when she visited her mother, her body reverted. Her mother would worry aloud, predicting everything that could go wrong. She would ask controlling questions. She would offer advice nobody asked for. Not because she was cruel, but because worry was how she expressed love. Asha used to absorb it. She would get irritated, then snap, then feel guilty. That pattern was also generational. Worry in silence, then explosion. This time, Asha tried a different approach. Compassionate boundaries. She said, "Mom, I know you care. When we speak like everything is about to go wrong, my body goes into anxiety. I want our time together to feel calmer. Can we talk about what is good too?" Her mother looked startled, then defensive. Then she said she was just being realistic. Asha breathed and stayed steady. She did not argue. She did not attack. She simply repeated the boundary with kindness. "I hear you, and I am choosing a calmer way. I would love your support." The first conversation was awkward. The second was awkward. The third was slightly easier. Over time, something shifted. Not perfectly, but noticeably. Asha realized a key truth. Breaking generational karma often feels like disappointing the old system, because the old system uses guilt to maintain the familiar. If you stop overgiving, you will be called selfish. If you stop absorbing worry, you will be called careless. If you stop staying silent, you will be called dramatic. This is not always malicious. It is often fear. The system tries to pull you back because the system is trained. So your task is not to win an argument. Your task is to become steady enough to not be pulled into the old dance. Steadiness is liberation. Now, I want to address something that many people quietly feel. What if my family line includes real harm? What if there was abuse? What if there was addiction? What if there was betrayal? What if the trauma is not subtle? Buddhist compassion never requires you to tolerate harm. Healing does not mean staying close to what hurts you. Sometimes the most compassionate act is distance. Sometimes the most dharmic act is safety. Sometimes breaking generational karma means ending contact or limiting it. But even with distance, the inner work remains, because the pattern can live inside you even when the person is far away. That is why mindfulness and metta are so powerful. They allow you to feel pain without becoming it. They allow you to release hatred without excusing harm. They allow you to break the link where suffering turns into more suffering. Asha also discovered something about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a statement. It is a release of attachment. She did not forgive to make her parents feel better. She forgave to stop carrying the weight. She forgave the parts of them that could not love skillfully. She forgave herself for repeating patterns. She forgave the child version of herself who coped the only way she knew. And she did not rush it. Forgiveness cannot be forced. It unfolds as the nervous system learns safety. Over time, Asha noticed macro change from micro practice. Her sleep improved. Her relationships felt less anxious. Her money decisions became calmer. She stopped feeling guilty for joy. She began to feel something she had rarely felt before. Ease. Not constant ease, not perfect peace, but the sense that life did not need to be fought every day. That is personal liberation, and it creates a brighter future for those who come after you. Because generational karma does not only pass down pain, it can pass down healing too. When you become the person who names emotions instead of burying them, you change the family atmosphere. When you become the person who rests without guilt, you model a new way. When you become the person who speaks truth with respect, you create a new norm. When you become the person who chooses compassion over blame, you reduce the emotional violence that often travels through families. This is the ripple effect. Healing your ancestral line contributes to broader societal well-being. Because societies are made of families, and families are made of nervous systems, and nervous systems are shaped by what is normalized. So what is the Buddhist path to ancestral healing in one simple sentence? Awareness transforms inheritance into choice. You inherit tendencies, but you are not condemned by them. Every time you pause and choose differently, you break the chain by one link. Every time you practice kindness instead of reactivity, you plant a new seed. Every time you tell the truth instead of repeating silence, you create a new future. And if you want a practical way to start today, start with one pattern. Just one. Name it gently. Trace how it shows up in you. Notice what triggers it. Practice one new response. Repeat. If the pattern is scarcity, practice gratitude and responsible planning without panic. If the pattern is emotional silence, practice naming one feeling per day. If the pattern is conflict avoidance, practice one honest boundary. If the pattern is self-sacrifice, practice receiving without guilt. If the pattern is harsh inner talk, practice speaking to yourself with compassion. Then bring metta into it. May I be free from this old pattern. May my family line be free from suffering. May the future be lighter because I chose awareness today. Now, I want to bring it back to you. If you have been feeling the weight of something you cannot name, It might not be a mystery. It might be a pattern asking for your attention. Not so you can blame the past, but so you can liberate the future. You do not have to fix your whole family tree in 1 year. You do not have to carry the responsibility for everyone. You only have to work with what is in your hands. Your mind, your speech, your actions, your intention. That is enough. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments, share one generational pattern you have noticed in your family line. It could be anxiety, anger, scarcity, people-pleasing, silence, addiction, relationship instability, anything. And share one small practice you will try this week to interrupt that pattern with kindness and clarity. If this episode resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more long-form teachings that combine Buddhist wisdom with practical inner work. Like the video so more people can find this conversation. And if you want to support the channel and help keep these longer episodes coming, consider becoming a member. Ending words for you. You may be the first person in your line to see the pattern clearly. That is not a burden. That is a sacred opportunity. When you heal one link, you lighten the whole chain.
At the end of the day, we all need something that brings us back to ourselves. Something that reminds us to slow down, breathe, and stay centered. Simple bracelet can do exactly that. Every bead you touch brings your mind back to calm, back to clarity, back to the present moment. If one of the bracelets you just so resonates with you, you can find the purchase link in the video description and explore more beautiful styles in our channel store. Let the one meant for you find its way to your wrist.